This will solve the debt issue. The answer is to sell assets and not tax income. How to manage Sri Lanka's debt better. Sri Lanka's plan to escape this debt trap is to tax the middle class and working class out of existence, whom, by the way, you guys are. This will not work. So, what's the solution then? The answer is to sell assets and not tax income. If you tax income, that means you'll have later marriages, delayed ownership of homes, lower fertility rate. Government currently owns 82% of land in all of Sri Lanka. That means 18% is owned by corporations and by you guys. This will solve the debt issue. But this land should not be bought by foreign corporations or foreigners. It should be owned by Sri Lankans. Better if it's the middle class. If not them, then the rich. If not the rich, then the super rich. So then the money doesn't outflow outside of Sri Lanka, but stays within Sri Lanka and within its citizens. The debt doesn't need to go down to zero. It just needs to be manageable. So why is this better? Just look around you. People are having low birth rates, they're having later marriages, and they're not owning their home. Right? If you compare that to the older generation, it's completely inverse to how it was. If you impose a tax, let's say a 25% tax, after pension and everything is probably around 35%, after housing is probably maybe 45-50%. If you have half your income taken away from you, what do you think that does to your savings? What do you think that does to your ability to own assets? Could do it the other way, like the UK has done for the last 15 years, like Japan has done for the last 30 years, but it's not gotten them anywhere. Real wages are stagnant. They're the same. The way the current system is set up is that you take one step forward, you take one step back. You take one step forward, you take one step back. You're in a perpetual cycle of debt. You can't outgrow whilst you have these debt payments. What you need is a one-off boost to make these debt payments easier. Remember, the debt doesn't need to go all the way down to zero, it just needs to be manageable. So if you have a debt to GDP percentage of 115, just bring it down to 100 or 95%, just so it's manageable. So you do not sell all of the assets in Sri Lanka. From here, you can then grow your way out of the debt. I said earlier that the majority of Sri Lankans shouldn't pay tax, so the working and the middle class shouldn't pay tax then. So who should pay tax? What I am proposing is to have a tariff-like tax system. So you're exporting out the tax, right? Same what America's doing right now. There's a smart way of doing it, and there's a less smart way of doing it. A lot of hotels in Sri Lanka actually do this, but they have different pricing for if you're a foreigner, if you're a local, right? So they have a local price and they have a foreigner price. I believe that's what Sri Lanka should implement. Is this discriminating against foreigners? Yes. Wake up. The world is discriminatory. You have people in Sri Lanka earning $3 a day. In the UK, we'd earn $15 an hour. You tell me if it's fair. Logistically, operationally, how can this be done? You all have IDs. Foreigners do not. If you don't like IDs, then just check if someone's Sri Lankan or not. Just see if they're white or brown or whatever.